You're joining us at the Taming the Chaos of Entrepreneurship live podcast. We do this every single Tuesday at lunchtime. So you can grab your lunch and join us and talk to other entrepreneurs, other business owners that are living the same life that you are. The reason I started doing this is because I found that when we got into entrepreneurship, it can be a little bit of a lonely road. But I found out that there's a lot of us, so it doesn't have to be lonely. So I decided, let's go out, find that network of people and just start talking to them. I love talking to people. So I'm super excited today to be joined by Kim Kramer. She owns Ideal Health Advisors. She is a licensed health insurance agent, and that is the area that she lives in. So today we're going to be talking about what that means to you as a business owner and as an entrepreneur or a solopreneur. We're going to be talking about all the things about insurance. So I know some of you are like, thinking, I'm going to just phase out of here, or your eyes might gloss over, kind of like when we talk about accounting, their eyes gloss over, Kim. And so, but I just want to encourage you, this is not going to be boring. We promise we won't fill this space with deductibles and copays. Do you promise, Kim? We're
Promise, absolutely.
with deductibles and copays. We're going to talk about things that you actually care about. So, Kim, will you just say hi to our audience and introduce yourself? Tell us how long you've been doing this and what is your favorite thing about this business?
Yes. Hi, everyone. My name's Kim Kramer, and like she said, I own Ideal Health Advisors. And my favorite thing about helping, well, that is my favorite thing about health insurance is helping everyone find the right policy for them. Most people don't know what is available to them out there. They think that it's just group coverage through a job or the marketplace or Obamacare. But there's so much more out there, so many more options. And I love getting to educate people and showing them how they can save money.
Yay, I love it. That's so
And
awesome.
I've been doing it for 5 years now. So I started doing it at COVID around June of 2020.
So right after Obamacare? Yes. Yeah. Obamacare was 2018, right? I can't remember. Something around there.
Yeah, I think that's about right. That
Okay.
was before I started doing insurance. So
Uh-huh.
I'm not
Yeah.
sure. It
Yeah,
sounds right.
that's awesome. Well, it's super awesome to have you here today. One question I ask all my guests is, tell me of a rough day in business in these 5 years. Can you think of a day that it was tough, and how did you pick yourself up and get up after that?
Oh, yes, absolutely. So, when I first started doing insurance, I worked for a company where I just worked for one company, and I sell a lot of different companies now, and do a lot of different private health insurance. I can help with the marketplace or Obamacare. So I do a lot of different things now. But in the beginning, I was solely licensed with one carrier,
Wait,
and
I
it
think we
was
might need to do a little education moment.
okay.
Please don't, everybody, please don't gloss over, but she's she's licensed in a state. No, she's actually licensed in 13 states, but we're going to pretend she's licensed by the state of Texas. When she's saying she's licensed with an agency, that the term we actually use is appointment, right? Appointed with an
Yes,
agency. Okay.
yes,
And so some agents, and so this goes across the board, like health insurance agents, auto insurance agents, home insurance agents. Some of them, if you drive by and they have State Farm on their building, that's a State Farm agent. If you drive by, they have farmers. Usually, that's a farmer's agent. Now, they can be what appointed with one company, and there are benefits to that, or they can be what we call a broker, right?
right,
Okay.
correct.
And a broker in this instance is different than a broker in like real estate. And so don't get the two of them confused. This is what we would call like an insurance broker, somebody that is able to write with multiple companies and they can go out and look at a whole bunch of companies. Did
Correct.
I say that all right?
Very good.
Okay,
Yes, you get
yay.
an A plus, A plus.
I passed the test. Okay, go on so that everybody understands a little bit about insurance.
Yes. So
Yeah.
in the beginning, I worked for one carrier, and their underwriting was very strict. So it was very difficult to get a client through and approved. Of course, that's how you make your money, right? So one day I was all excited because I had several policies that I was going to get to put through, and all of them were declined for the stupidest reasons. So, it was a tough day. I didn't get any of my policies approved. And not only that, it's just, I love helping people. So,
Well, yeah, because then you
I
have to go
have to
back.
call them back. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, this great policy I told you about, I now can't, you were not approved. And so it was very disheartening. And yeah, so that was a tough day, one of the toughest. And unfortunately, I had a lot of them at that company. But the next day, you just pick yourself up and you got to start over again and try to help people the next day. And eventually, I solved that problem by just going and becoming a broker, where I was able to find carriers that I are not as stringent on their underwriting. And I have options. And the best part about that is I'm able to really get to know my clients, what their needs are, and I can help them find the right policy because I have different options. So that's how I ultimately solved that very bad day and multiple bad days at
Yeah. Yeah.
that company. So
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome. Very good. Were
yeah.
you able to help those people, or did you just refer them to
Yeah,
somebody, a
I
friend?
mean, I had all those people, and ultimately I called them back. And some of them, of course, had moved on, but some of them were like, yeah, and they appreciated me reaching back out. And they had found other plans they weren't happy with. And some of them I was able to find them a good plan, and they've stuck with me.
Yeah,
So,
that's good.
and if I found better plans, I reach back out to them and be like, hey, I've got a plan now that I think you'll like better than the one I got you on last time.
Yeah.
So, I'm able to continue to help current clients even by
And
updating them.
every year those policies change, right?
Yeah, I
And
mean, some do. Yeah,
so there's a
I can get
possibility.
new policies or, mhm.
Yeah, so a good agent is going to keep on top of that. They're not just going to write it the first time and forget about you, but a good
Right.
agent will talk to you every single year about it and say, "Let's evaluate this and make sure that this is still the goodest, the best thing for you."
Right. Goodest, best,
Goodest,
whatever.
best, whatever. I want to talk about entrepreneurs and small business owners, and like let's talk about some of the myths maybe that some of them believe. I work with entrepreneurs and small business owners all day long, and I found that a lot of them end up just foregoing health insurance entirely because it's too much, or it's too much research, or it's just not affordable. And like you said, they think that the only way that they can have it is once they get to. And I'd like you to weigh in, like as a business owner, when do you need to start offering it to your client, to your employees? Like when's a great time to, and I'll weigh in a little bit too. Well, we can weigh in both, and on the finance side and that, and like how can
Sure.
business owners plan for that? I don't know. Where do we start? Let's
Yeah.
see. Start with some of the myth.
Yeah.
Start with some of the myths you hear. What are some of the myths you're hearing?
Well, for one, that it's too expensive. And I think that goes back to, people just really not knowing what options are out there and thinking that, and if you don't know what options are out there, it is too expensive. Because if you have a company of 3, 5, even 10 people, if you go straight to Blue Cross Blue Shield group, it is too expensive. It's a fortune and your deductibles are high. But you if you get a hold of someone like me, then I can show you that there's private plans where we can look at getting that still that we can help your employees not so much on a group plan, but we can look at getting them on individual policies that are so affordable, and you can either help them with whatever percentage you want, because you don't have to legally help your employees until you're at 50 employees. So you can choose to help your employees $50 a month, $100 a month. You don't have to help them at all, but even being able to provide them with options. of what there is and help facilitate that and get them in touch with me. I do all the rest, and you don't have to spend your time, talking to them, learning about insurance, anything like that. You just provide them with my information and I can walk them through the options. But you would be surprised at how affordable private insurance is. And even if you, and of course, insurance rates are based on your age. So if you have a 20-something-year-old working for you, I can get them an insurance policies, in the mid 100s to 200s. If you have a 55-year-old working for you, I can still probably get them a policy, in the, 300s. So private insurance is a lot more affordable, no deductibles. There's a lot of advantages to it. So, that way, even if you split that with them, that's,
Yeah.
$150 out of
Yeah.
your pocket
No,
and
we have to do
theirs.
that. We have to do that in a in a cafeteria plan, right?
No,
We don't.
no,
Okay.
no. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Now, I don't know all the legalities
Yeah.
and tax and all that. So I'm no accountant
I'm over
like,
here trying to think like
yeah,
we don't want to just be giving our employees money. We want to make sure that this is a tax deduction.
yeah, I don't,
So we're going to figure that
yeah,
out. So me and you are going to work
yeah.
together when we
So
do that and
yeah,
set
and
that
I
up
don't
right.
know
Yeah.
how they do that on their accounting end because, yeah, obviously I have companies and I don't know how they're doing it on their tax end. So don't let me,
Yeah.
talk to Penny about that. But, you can have them pay it out of their account and increase their income on their check, or you can, of course, run it through your account and probably how it's tax deductible, run it through their account, your account as a company, and then take it out of their check, of course.
Yeah, there's a
So
couple different
there's
options.
options.
Yeah, one of them is a health reimbursement plan. I know, and then there's like a cafeteria plan. There's a couple of different options there, and those are both very low cost. They just require all the legalities in writing so that it can be a tax deduction for the business and it can be not taxable income for your employees. So there's lots of different options, but for sure, it encompasses a few things. Um, what about and here's something that small business owners, I know, like one of my clients had told me, Penny, I'm having a hard time attracting top talent because I can't afford to offer the same benefits that my competitors are offering. And I'll be honest, Kim, when it came down to it, this client, they just didn't plan for it. It just wasn't a priority. And you hear this all the time. I don't have money for it. And actually what people are saying when they say I don't have money for it is that it's not a top priority. When we make it a top priority, then all of a sudden we have money for it. And so here's the deal. In my life, I have money for the things that I care about. And I don't have money for the things that I care less about, or
Exactly.
that I decide not to. I mean, I might care about them, but if I don't plan to put it in the budget, then I mean, honestly, do I care about it? And so this client of mine
Yeah.
actually spent a lot of money on a lot of things. One of them being meals. And this is one of the things that I harp on for clients, businesses and personal. Eating out is killing your budget. And when business owners think like, well, I'm just busy and I'm just going to eat out. Listen, you can spend $3,000 a month eating out. I've seen it over and over and over as business owners. Those meals at best are 50% deductible. Okay? So you might spend $3,000, you can only get to deduct 1,500 of that. What if instead of eating out, you decided to put that that $3,000 toward benefits for your employees and somehow get them some coverage? Because who wins and who loses when your employee has breaks a leg and they need to, like, it's going to hurt your business even if they weren't at work when they did it. It's going to hurt you because they don't go and get the care that they need, or, and then as a business owner, you feel that. And I've watched this happen. Business owners that love their employees feel that. And then they feel the burden to pay for those medical bills. What if we just budgeted for it in the beginning? Why don't we just make a plan for it? And for business owners, it might not be today, but it might be 6 months from now. And if you're in 2025 right now, we're in the first quarter. What if we planned for fourth quarter for 2025 and then get some real, and then you start working. I did it again. Oh my Lanta. And then if you start working working on that budget and getting that stuff together, working with somebody like Kim over the next 6 months, really making that a clear and actionable process instead of just waking up today and saying, I don't have money for it. Instead of saying, I can't do it, or, I wish. This one bugs me, Kim, when people say, I wish. Well, what does that wish? Like, why? Let's dig into that. If you have a wish, if you wish that you could cover your employees, then let's make a plan for it. Then let's talk to Kim and get the numbers, because a lot of times we don't even know what those numbers are. You're just dreaming something up and you don't even know how to say no because you just don't even know the numbers, right?
Well, and you're spending so much more than that on turnover.
Yes.
I mean, I work with this one company and it's like they pay 100% for the client's insurance, but they don't pay it in one paycheck. They split the premium up and they pay half of it on one paycheck and half of it on the other, and they don't make a lot of money. So the employees turn it down because they can't afford to upfront the premium. And I'm like, but their turnover is so bad. And it's like,
They got a cash flow issue.
if you would just pay the premium in one payment, you would save so much money on turnover and training.
Yeah.
It's just so,
Okay, I'm
yeah.
not sure I'm following you. They're paying the premium in one payment and two payments like a month.
Well, they're coming out. They pay their employees premium, or yeah, their premium, but it comes out of the employee's check.
Okay.
So the employee has to pay it.
Right.
Of course, that's going to come out in one payment for the employee out of their checking account.
Okay.
And then the employer reimburses them, but in two payments, half of it in
Oh,
one pay period and half of it in the
after the
other. So they're upfronting it
okay. So
and
the
getting,
employee
yeah,
the employee is upfronting it and the employer is reimbursing them. Gotcha. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And then they turn it down because they can't afford it.
Yeah, Kim,
They can't afford to upfront it.
you need to get me in contact with those, because those people they just have a cash flow issue. I guarantee you that business just has a cash flow issue and they just don't know how to get on top of it. And a lot
Well, they
of
wouldn't have a cash flow issue if they didn't have a turnover issue. I don't think,
That's
either.
true.
You
That's
know?
true. And as business
But
owners, we
yes,
wake up some days and we're just so busy putting out fires that we forget to make a
yeah,
plan and decide what's
yeah,
important and just to plan it. And you're so
I get
right.
that.
Yeah, and we're
I
just
get that.
as business owners, if we're all the time just reacting, then nothing's
Yes,
going to grow. It's not going to get any better.
you're
Those
so right.
those wishes are just going to fly out into the air and stay there. They're never going to happen in
Yeah,
our business if we don't
yeah,
get on top of it and do something different today than we did yesterday. So, um
exactly. So true.
what's the difference between private plans and, you said, like, Blue Cross Blue Shield?
Yeah, so they do work differently. So Blue Cross Blue Shield, they're your typical, that's going to be your group policies, just like you have through your work, through everyone's had through their jobs before. You have a deductible, you meet the deductible, then 80% kicks in or whatever the percentage is. And then you pay that until your max out of pocket kicks in, right? So, and then 100, yeah, did I say that? 100% kicks in. Private plans work differently. They have zero deductibles. They do not have co-insurance like 80/20. They have a certain dollar amount they pay for every situation. And there's different levels. So they're really specified benefit plans. They have different levels. So the higher the level, the more they're going to pay for every situation. They are a million annual max, 5 million lifetime. They are more affordable because there's no max out of pocket. But I have other policies like that I can add on to those that, depending on your age, are also more affordable, that can give you that max out of pocket. So I do like, and that's the other good thing about it, is that they're kind of, you can make them however you want. You can
Are you talking
combine
like
different things.
hospitalization, like a hospitalization policy or a,
Well, yeah, like there's doctors, hospitalization, everything on the one plan, but then there's another one. You can add a couple things on to like critical illness
okay.
and accident, like with a $5,000 deductible, 100% coverage that gets you that max out of pocket.
Okay.
So yeah,
Okay.
so they do work a little bit differently. But the good thing too about those that base policy that is the benefit amount, the specified benefit, is that they pay that benefit amount no matter what. So clients are always calling me saying, "I got to," they're getting like they'll pay 175, $200 for a doctor's appointment. So even if the doctor's appointment only costs like 150, they're getting a check in the mail for the extra for the 25 or 50 that
Very good.
if it didn't cost
Yeah,
that full amount, they get the difference in the from a check in the mail for the difference.
that's
So,
awesome.
yeah.
Kim,
So,
I listen, whenever Jonathan's job ended last June, we looked for health insurance and I didn't know you at the time, but something like that was not offered to me. So after this, we're going to talk because that is like, why are we not doing that? Yeah. So the people just don't know that that's available. And I'm guessing there
yeah.
might be a different commission or whatever on the stuff that I was offered because it didn't work out for us. But um,
Oh,
it's okay. We're me and my family are also American Indians, so we have some of the marketplace advantages that
well, good.
everybody does not. So, but we won't everybody doesn't know about that, but if you're an American Indian and you're a registered part, you should talk to Kim because I promise there's some other benefits that are available to you through the marketplace that are a good thing. Um, what a what are I'm trying to decide what my next question is. How to
Can I throw out there some things that I can help people with that they may not think
yes,
about?
yes.
Okay. So some things that you might not think about that people could use me for is if of course if you're self-employed, that's an obvious one. If anyone has children aging out of their parents policy and they don't have coverage through their job, would be a good one. And this is one that people never think about, but families that have policies through group coverage, I can't speak, group coverage through their job, 99% of the time, it's obviously the best choice for the employee because they're getting half of it paid for, however much. But it's so expensive sometimes to add the family that, it just, I've talked to families that are paying like $2,000 a month for their health insurance.
Through a group.
I can
Yeah.
break the rest of the family off onto a separate health policy and save them so much money. I've saved families like $1,000 before a month. So that's always a good option to think about.
Yes.
And even if there's a single parent that is in that position, I can offer child only policies. So there's a divorced
Huh?
or widowed mother or father that needs that employee coverage, that I could break the kids off or child off and do a child only policy and still benefit them and save them money. Yeah, I mean,
Very
that's just
good.
a few
Are
things
there
that people might not think
yeah,
about.
are there deadlines people need to be aware of? Not really, right?
20 any day of the year, you can sign up. There's no open enrollments or anything for private policies. Of course, for the marketplace, obviously there is.
Right, right. And tell we have an 18-year-old, so they get to stay on your policy now till you're 26.
26 in
Okay.
Texas. It's 26.
Okay. Oh, it's
Yep.
different by state?
It might be.
Oh, okay.
Most of them are 26, I believe.
Okay.
But yeah, insurance regulations are different by state. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Well, I think
yeah.
we learned a lot. I think and you
Good.
didn't overwhelm us with deductibles and copays and
Not,
all of those things. But I think what's very unique and having somebody like you, I just want to speak to the audience here. Don't don't get on a website and try to look for something yourself
gosh,
when
no.
you have a person like Kim available, because you can actually just pick up the phone and call her when you have questions, even when they're like, I don't understand why they denied this claim, or what's going
Yeah.
on. Do I actually owe this? She understands those EOBs. She understands, she can help translate that. And when you get on a website and you're just doing it all yourself, you're paying the exact same amount of money, but you're missing out on the relationship of having a person to call. And so I just want to speak to that. Like, anybody getting insurance, you should not be getting it through a website. House, car, health, life, do not get it through a website. Call a person, have a human that is your contact. Everybody should have an agent in all of those areas that is your person and your contact. Because even if you're like me, I mean, I'm 45 and I've had $1,000,005 health and I mean, all the insurance policies in my life. There's still things that I have to call about, and you just need to have a person. So don't buy it on a website, call a person. And if you need
Well,
help,
not only that, sorry, I didn't
no,
mean to
go
interrupt. I
ahead.
thought you were done. Not only that, they will sell your information to the world and you will get a million phone calls
Right.
forever.
Yes.
It's bad.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kim, if you can't help somebody, you know who can, right? I mean,
Yes, yes, yes.
yeah.
And I will. Like if I can't help you, I will help find somebody that will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
there's no fee to work with me at all, ever. The insurance companies pay me, and like I said, if it doesn't work out with me, that's totally fine. I'm always happy to help or even just answer questions. So
Yeah, that's
it's never a
awesome.
problem.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very good. I just came out with a cash flow advisory worksheet that I'm giving away for free. So I'll be sharing that in the comments of this video. If you go to my LinkedIn page or my Facebook, it's on there. Download it for free. What I'm seeing is there is a lot of business owners that are really struggling with cash flow. So I put together a whole page on tips of what you can do to manage that cash flow effectively, so that you can afford insurance and you can be covered in case something happens to you and your family. So go there and do that. And then, Kim, how can they find you if they're watching today?
Idealhealthadvisors.com. You can see my information, 817-845-1750. You can call or text me anytime. But yeah, my website has all my
And
information
she's
as
on all the
well.
social media channels. So we'll tag her in the comments. And when we post this, we'll tag her. So she's out there. And if you really can't find her, you can find me and I will connect you with her. So, Kim, I just appreciate you being here today. Thanks for being
Well, thank
our
you for having me.
resident health insurance advisor expert. I learned a few
Thank
things
you.
today that I didn't know, and I thought I knew.
Yeah,
I honestly thought I had a pretty good
thank
understanding.
you.
So this was very good. Thanks everybody. Have a
Good.
great afternoon.